All right. Happy Wednesday. Wednesday. Yes, it is Wednesday. Oh my gosh, I've been working all day on a writing project and it's not going well. It's going fine. It's going fine. But yeah, it's like taken up all of my day because I tend to like write stuff and then I'm like, I'm being so freaking wordy. This is not even making any sense to me. And I'm the one writing it. And then I like scrap it, except I don't scrap it. I like stick it somewhere else because, it was hours worth of work that I can probably use somewhere else. But then I start writing something else. And then I have the same experience. So this has been my day. I've been writing all day and I have nothing I can actually use uh, for this week. Yeah, story of my life. So, hello, hello. Hey, Tina. Lily. Hey, Lily. Welcome to my sprint. Okay, Lily. Okay, you are in the right place. Oh my gosh, because you are reading The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden. And both Tina and I have read that. And are you the reason that I read this? I don't know. I don't remember. Somebody else came in to my sprints a couple weeks ago and was talking about they were reading the Housemaid books. And so I got all excited because I had read the first book and loved it. And Tina was like, did you read the other book? Then I said, no, I haven't read the other ones yet. Should I read them? Because Tina read them. And Tina was like, yes, you should read them. So last week or something, maybe the week before, I was like, okay, I'm going to start the second book. And then if I have time, I'll do the third book this month too. So yeah, I flew through the second book in like, I don't know, 2 days maybe. Like I usually read before I go to bed, right? So I was like flying through it. And then I was like, okay, now I have to read the third book. So then I read the third book, The Housemaid is Watching. And yeah, yes. So how much of The Housemaid is Watching have you read? You're welcome. I did fly through them. I flew through them. I couldn't stop reading them. I had to stop reading them because I had to go to sleep. But yeah, I was like reading like fool. I was a reading fool. Even though the last one was really freaking me out with like, I don't think I'm spoiling anything. Let me find out where Lily is before I start talking about it. But Tina, you know what I'm talking about. It was freaking me out. I was like, I don't like this book. It's a scary book. It's a scary, scary, scary book. I've been crazy about the book since May. Yeah. Did you read the first? Did you do like you read the first one and then you had to read the second one and now you're on the third? Were you like, I'm reading them all? I'm about 10% in on my tablet. My family's in town, so it's hard to read for long. 10% in. You might not. Have they already bought the house? Have they moved into the house? Have they? Yeah, you did. You read them all like back to back to back. Yeah, that's how I felt about the second and third one. I don't know why I didn't read the second and third one right after I read the first one. I can't remember when I read the first one, if it was this year, if it was last year. I think I knew at the time that there were two more, and I just didn't. I don't know. I don't know. I had other stuff to read, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember, but yeah. Okay, so yes, they moved into the house with no blinds. Has she been unable to sleep? Has she been waking up in the middle of the night? Yeah, yeah. Look at me. I'm like doing it. I'm like, is there scratching? Not yet. Okay, so you're not quite there yet, but you will be soon. And yeah. Oh my gosh, I loved those books. Although now there is like a huge gap in time between, like, especially between the second book and the third book. Um, so yeah, it's like these people are old now. Not old, but they're like, unless they were super young, I guess maybe she was super young. She couldn't have been that young. She spent 9 years in jail. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. So the timeline, I don't know how many more of these books Frida has in her. I don't know how many more jobs the housemaid can get. Um, but yeah, yeah. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I don't want to say anything else until like I know that you've read more. It's like, am I the only one who wanted it to follow the wife from book one? You know what? If they went back and did the wife from book one, although Tina, you will remember, book one does rear its head again. No spoilers, no spoilers. But yeah, like if they went back and we found out like what, maybe that's the fourth Frida McFadden book, is the wife from book one and her story. I know, look at me thinking about this. Like I'm Frida McFadden and I'm going to write this book. It feels like soap opera time. I do feel like we're talking about people we know. Right, Tina, yes, yes. I'm reading another Frida McFadden right now. Are you? I don't know how many books she has. I feel like I need to look this up. And so that is exactly what I'm going to do right now. Let me look up Frida McFadden. Didn't you say, Tina, were you talking about like there was a short story that she wrote that you were like, wah, wah, wah. Oh my gosh, she's got a lot of books. She's got a lot of books. Wow. The Teacher. And they're all like, oh my gosh, The Teacher, The Inmate, The Perfect Son. Wait, The Inmate? Is that about, I wonder if that's about her time in jail. No, it's not. It's a different, Brooke Sullivan is the name of the character. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. And here's the nice thing about Frida McFadden. A lot of her stuff looks like it's Kindle Unlimited. And that makes me happy. All right. So Tina's book, One by One, it's about 6 people who are going on a trip and the car breaks down. Oh no. And they're stuck in the middle of the wilderness. No, 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 no. This sounds scary to me. There's 2 perspectives. One of the people and the killer. But it is titled as an anonymous, and you're trying to figure out which person is the killer and who's trying to pick them off one by one. Tina, is it scary or is it like thrilling? Am I going to be reading it like this? Oh, I've read The Ex, The Gift, The Wife Upstairs, and now the 2 housemaid books. You guys are all in like this Frida McFadden bubble. I want to read Never Lie next. It's not as creepy as I thought it was going to be. It's more suspenseful. Okay. Oh, but last night I almost slept in the living room because I was terrified. No, 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 no. This is not the book for me. Lily's like, that sounds good. I'm like, no, 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 no. Anything that makes me have to sleep. I was almost having to sleep in the living room during book 3, during the housemaid is watching or whatever it's called. Somebody's watching. Yeah, no, the housemaid was, I don't know, somebody was watching. Yeah, I almost like couldn't finish the book because I got scared. But I kept going and then realized that, okay, I shouldn't be scared. But if you're sleeping on the couch, no, 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 no. I didn't like The Gift. Ooh, that was that the little short novella. Lily, what do you think of it? Lily read The Gift, I think she said. Yeah, you did. Did you like The Gift? Everyone's laughing at Tina because yes. And Mika is here. Hey, Mika. She's late. She lost track of time. We have been talking Frida McFadden. Mika, I think you read The Housemaid, right? Have you read the first one? Have you read any of the others? Mika, what are your thoughts on Frida McFadden? We need to get Frida in here. Oh, I like The Gift. I read it on Christmas Eve. Is The Gift the one that's like a retelling of The Gift of the Magi? And if that's the case, maybe we should read that in December instead of Hedgehog Hollow Christmas. Oh, but if you've already read it, doesn't matter. All right. Mika wants to know if you are ready for Auckland. Yes, it is the one that's The Gift of the Magi retelling. All right. I think Tina said she loves The Gift of the Magi. I read it in high school. I remember we had to read it in high school. And probably because we had to read it in high school, I wasn't that crazy about it. But a little novella, I might give The Gift a chance. You know what I should do some month? Maybe next month, since now I'm on a roll. Maybe next month, since I'm on a roll, is do all Frida McFadden and just read everything by Frida McFadden. This is an idea. I haven't even thought about what I'm going to read in July, other than the book I have to read for my book club, and the book that we might read for Treehouse. But I haven't thought of any other books. So maybe July will be Frida McFadden, the month of Frida McFadden. No, Mika hasn't read any of them. Mika, I think you would like them. They're like thriller, suspense with some twists. And sometimes you kind of know what the twist is going to be, but sometimes you have no idea what the twist is going to be. Okay, Tina is ready for Auckland, but she hasn't started it yet. She has a book, hasn't started it yet. What's the prompt for Auckland? And Mika, are you ready for Auckland? That would be awesome. I know, it'd be kind of awesome, right? I feel like it would be what you did this month. And maybe what you're going to do next month too. I don't know. There's a lot of books. Yes, my school forced me to read The Gift of the Magi and a bunch of short novellas. And that was the only one I liked. And I feel like The Gift ruined it. Yeah, maybe The Gift will make me like it. I didn't dislike The Gift of the Magi. I should clarify. I didn't love it. Like I didn't have the same kind of buzz about it that everybody else had. Yeah, so maybe The Gift will be The Gift of the Magi's gift to me. I don't know. Ooh, Auckland is a book with water on the cover. All right, so what book are you reading? And Mika, have you got a book with water on the cover? Are you ready to go? I think I read a book this year with water on the cover. Let me see what it was and if I liked it. Or maybe I'm just making it up. Let's see. Finished. Book with water on the cover. Huh. I have a book. No, I haven't read any books with water on the cover. Okay. Which is interesting. Is that water? Actually, I have read a book with water on the cover. I read Gator Country by Rebecca Renner. And there's water with like an alligator's eyes coming up on the top. And I did like that book. It was a good book. It was a good book. All right. Yeah, the book of the month. of our offline reading club fits the prompt. So what is it? I think I'm going to read Beneath the Willow Tree by Rachel Hannah. It's the 8th book in a short women's fiction series. Okay. Shmika, I'm reading the German translation of a Norwegian book, but there's an English translation. Sea Cemetery. Ooh. It sounds dark. Like people are dying at sea. Ooh. Sea Cemetery. Tina says that book sounds creepy. It does sound creepy. I'm terrified of open water. I one time helped a guy move his catamaran from one of the islands in the south of Bangkok through the Gulf of Thailand, or an island in the south of Thailand, through the Gulf up to Bangkok, where he was going to park it. And he had been sailing for like a week to get to Koh Samui, maybe is where he was in Thailand. And he was exhausted, like he hadn't slept, right? Because he was the only person on this boat sailing it. And he was like, I can't make it anymore. I need someone to help me drive it to Bangkok, sail it to Bangkok. And so I was like, oh, I'll do it. It was the first time. I mean, I've been on a cruise before, but the cruise ships are giant, right? So it was the first time that I've been on open water, deep water, with no land in sight, no living thing in sight, like nothing in sight, almost by myself, right? Because the guy on the boat just spent not the whole time, like it was a couple of days, but he spent, I mean, I think we were maybe both awake at the same time for 2 hours total, the whole time we were together. So it was like being completely alone on open water. And I had to sometimes like stop thinking about it. Like stop thinking about what's underneath the water, stop thinking about how deep it is, because it would freak me out. It would freak me out. Ooh, it's dual timeline, World War II and the present. Huh. Is it about like battleships? We were just in Bangkok. It was the previous leg. I do remember when you literally were just there. You guys are going fast through places. But I guess you have to. Is Auckland the last place, or do you have one more to go before the end of the month? Or 2 more before the end of the month? Oh gosh, I would be so scared. Yeah, you got to not think about it. You got to not think about it. And then, so there was one time when, so I woke up and came up to take my shift, and we weren't sailing. We weren't doing anything. We were just sitting there. And I was like, what's going on? Like, is this the part where you murder me and like throw me overboard? Like, what is going on? Why are we just sitting out here? And he was like, I think we're dragging a rope, or we're stuck on something. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad I wasn't driving when we got stuck on something. And he was like, yeah, one of us needs to go down and fix it. And I was like, not my boat. I'm not going in there to fix it. I don't know how to fix it. It's not my boat. I'm not getting in the water to go down there. And he was like, well, I don't want to get in the water either. So we had this like standoff, because I was like, I'm not getting in there. I'm not getting in the water because 1, I don't know what's under there. 2, I don't want you to like drive off without me, right? And leave me like treading water in the middle of the Gulf of Thailand. I'm not getting under there. And then I think he also was like, look, lady, I never met you before. I don't know that you're not going to drive off with my boat when I'm down there. So fair, right? We were not getting in the water. No, we were not. Do you know how to sail? Please say yes. I'm going to say I have sailed a boat by myself. I have sailed a catamaran by myself. I don't know that I know how to sail. So yeah, no. Oh, Auckland is number 9 of 10. So you have one more. You have Auckland and one more place. Very cool. One of us. What do you mean? You have to go fix it? Yes, somebody has to. Yeah. I'm not fixing it. Wait, no, it was a random stranger, a total random stranger from the internet. All right, it's about, I'm not going to say this word, Hurtigruten that sank with Norwegian civilians and German soldiers. Is a Hurtigruten like some kind of a, I don't know what a Hurtigruten is, but civilians and soldiers. Yeah. And there's a lady in the present day trying to find out what happened to the ship, and she disappears. Ooh, that sounds like it might be cool. I like dual timeline books. Lily can't even talk. She's just laughing. Hurtigruten ship. I don't know what a Hurtigruten ship is. How did this happen? How did you get in this situation? Yeah. Who fixed it? So he fixed it by like doing this, like I'm driving like I'm driving a car because I don't know how to drive a ship. I don't know how to sail a ship, right? This is how I sail a ship. He did these like maneuvery things because he was like, okay, clearly neither one of us is going in, but we have to get free. So he's like, let me try like zigzagging and see if like the current or whatever would just like free whatever was trapping us. I don't know if it was like a fishing net or if it was some kind of rope or something that was wrapped around the rudder. But he did that for like, I don't know, 30 minutes or something. And it worked. So whatever it was we were stuck on wasn't wrapped around like really tightly, and we got free, and then we just like kept going. But yeah, so he fixed it, but he didn't get in. Why would you go on a random stranger's boat in the middle of nowhere? I would say it would have been more likely that you would have gotten murdered. Yes, yes. That was a thought in my head when I accepted the I was going to say proposal, but that makes it sound like it was a marriage proposal. It was not. It was a please come help me do my boat. Yeah. No, it was on. So I did house sitting for a while. And one of the like website things that I signed up for was like boat crewing. I can't remember what it was called, but like for boat captains and boat people who are looking for crew. And so and when you sign up for that website, like you have to give all of this information about yourself, like to the website people. And so I guess I trusted that he at least had some kind of vetting which is probably completely false. This was years ago when like the internet was newish. And we all trusted that. This was back when you could trust the internet. Yeah, so he contacted me from that website. And now that I'm thinking about it, it is creepy that he contacted me, someone with like absolutely no experience, right? I didn't lie on my profile, right? I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm happy to learn. Weird that he contacted me instead of other people. And yes, I should have been more concerned about being murdered. And I was a little bit concerned about being murdered. And I told everybody where I was going and gave them all of the information, with the caveat that when I met him in Thailand, if he gave me the creeps, I was not going to go through with it. And when I met him in Thailand, he didn't give me the creeps. And I didn't get a danger vibe from him. Not that that means he's not dangerous, because most of the serial killers in the world got to be so great at serial killing because they were able to attract like people because they weren't creepy, right? I don't know. Anyway, it all turned out fine. Would I recommend it for people? Probably not. I mean the whole random stranger on a boat in the middle of nowhere. Probably wouldn't recommend it. It's not like, if my daughter did it, I would freak out and never let her leave the house again. But I don't have a daughter, so. Okay, Hurtigruten is a company with postal ships that sail up and down the Norwegian coast. Passengers can board and come along, and Norwegians use it like a bus. Oh, so this is an interesting book then. So then during World War II, this postal ships were going up and down the Norwegian coast, right? And there were German soldiers on board, and there were all of these other people on board, and the boat disappears. Ooh, this sounds good. And this woman then in the present day is like, wonder what happened to that boat. Ooh, but the title Sea Cemetery is creepy. My life is so interesting. You've done so many crazy things. I have done a lot of stuff. That is true. Oh, Claudius and I booked a cabin for the whole round trip up and down twice. It takes a few days each direction. That's cool. Our first year, our Hurtigruten captain miscalculated, and the ship touched ground, so we were stuck for 2 days. The good thing is, once you've touched ground, the ship can't sink any further. Except that's not what happened to that cruise ship in Italy. Remember the Costa Cruises went out of business because their ship ran aground or ran into, he miscalculated or something and got too close to the shore and it sunk, and tons of people died. I'm glad you guys made it out. Wow. How far is Norway from you? I always picture Norway as being super, super far north. Are you not that far? Is it close enough that you easily go on holidays there? It sounds like it. All right. Well, I feel like all of you guys have really good books to read. And I'm going to read my Portuguese book. Yeah, we were lucky that the ship touched ground in a shallow passage. Oh, for sure. And then you were stuck there. Norway isn't very far. Okay. It's not right next to you though, right? Germany's landlocked. Am I right? I need to learn my European geography a little bit better. I definitely need to learn my European geography because in my mind, France is right above Portugal and Spain is to the east of Portugal, but it's not true. Spain is to the east and the north of Portugal. Spain is gigantic. We're surrounded by Spain. We're much farther from France than I thought we were, which is disappointing. Oh, we can drive it by car in a few days. Very cool. Very cool. All right. I'm going to read my Portuguese book. I haven't read it for a while. And I know that because there is dust on it. There's actually dust on the cover of this book. But I'm going to read it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pages in the next chapter. I wonder if I can get through a chapter tonight. I don't know. So I have a meeting that I have to be at what time is my meeting? 2:00 Eastern time, which is 7:00 my time, which means if we're going to get reading done, we have to start reading. Because I need to bag out at 7. So, all right, we need to get reading. Oh, there's a bit of sea between Germany and Scandinavia. All right. How about what if we read we've been doing long reading sprints here for a while. What if we read until oh boy, what if we do a really long one? What if we read? Okay, so if we read for an hour, what if we read for 45? Hey, what if we read for, oh my God, why can I not even figure this out? I have no thoughts about how long to read. So I feel like we either need to do short sprints, like we could maybe do 2 30-minute sprints, which isn't all that long. If we did a 45, we'd be back at a quarter after, and then we could do another 30. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do a 45 and then we'll do 30? So we'll come back at a quarter after. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. I want to edit. And we're reading until a quarter after. 15 minutes after the hour. Does that sound good? I think that sounds good. I think that sounds all right. Okay, so let's read. I'll see you guys again at a quarter after. All right, cool. Okay, I guess it's 1/4 after. That is the end of our first sprint. I did not get very far. 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 pages, which I guess is not that bad. And I learned some new words. I learned the word for knitting. See if I can remember it. Tricotar. Is that right? Yeah, tricotar, knitting, to knit. And then I learned the word for stretch. To stretch is esticar, edicar, esticar, esticar. All right, so now I can talk about Tina knitting, and I can talk about how much I need to stretch. Boy, it takes a long time for me to get through just a few pages of like nothing. It's all just like scene setting. And yeah, I have to look up a bunch of words. And then I'm like, should I even look this up? Is it even important to the story? I don't know. Just like setting the scene, I guess. But yeah, so I learned 2 words that hopefully I remember. I'll keep practicing them. All right. What about you guys? What's happening with everyone else? Anything exciting happening? Anybody read anything exciting? I probably need to spend the next sprint getting ready for my meeting, right? Be a quick one. The next one will literally be just a very, very quick one. Like 30 minutes, 20 minutes. It's going to be too short to even be one. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure I like my book. It's centered around the family of one of the Norwegians who died. There's some kind of secret they're hiding. When his grandfather asks his wife for the truth, 75 years later, she kills herself. That's like a big secret. What kind of secret would you kill yourself about? I can think of a secret in World War II that I would kill myself about, right? Like if I was in charge of one of the concentration camps and didn't want anybody to know, I guess I would probably kill myself if my granddaughter asked me about it. So why do you not like the book? I mean, it sounds like an interesting book. All of that sounds like super interesting. I like secrets in books. I don't like secrets in real life so much, but a secret in a book is what makes all the like tension. I wonder what's going on, right? Yeah, so far there's no tension in my book. I feel like there's a lot of secrets in my book, but my Portuguese is not good enough for me to be able to know the secrets or figure them out or figure, yeah. But there are also POVs if spies who are working against ISIS. Oh, I don't like spy novels. Huh. All right, so it's kind of weird. The present day people are like spies working against ISIS, and somehow like that goes with the with the I don't know, the Germans, the people on the boat. Huh. I feel like this could be an interesting book though, Mika. I feel like if you keep reading, it's confusing because the story jumps around a lot. Yeah. But you know what? I'm always confused at the beginning of books like that. When it's like present day and then in the past. but there's like multiple timelines and multiple people doing different things in all these timelines. I'm always confused about what's going on until like, honestly, sometimes until like halfway through the book. And I always want to like give up at the beginning because I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. Like Cloud Atlas. Oh my God. I was so confused. So confused. And what's the other book? Cloud Cuckoo Land. I was totally confused at the beginning. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Who's where? What's happening? What is everybody doing? I didn't get any of it until like far, far into it. And I kept having to make like maps and family tree kinds of things to figure out like, okay, where are we in time? Who is this? What year is it? What country are we in? Yeah, it's confusing. So I always am so confused. And I think I hate this book. But then when you stick with it, you're like, oh no, I love this book. It's the greatest book ever. The spies are not members of the family, so I don't see the connection yet. All right. I feel like, I don't know, I'm curious to talk to you about this when you're finished with it to see if it does all come together and if you do think it's like the greatest book or if you're still like, yeah, I was so confused the whole time. I'm back. My sister FaceTimed me. Tina, where does your sister live? Is she in Philadelphia? I can't remember. I can't remember. Oh, it's won awards. So maybe. I'm going to look it up. Sea Cemetery. I don't know that I'm going to read it because it sounds involved. And oh no, I guess if they have an English title, would have an English translation of it. But maybe I'll read it. I don't know. I'm going to look it up. She's in Pennsylvania. I don't remember where though. All right. Cool, cool. Tina, did you read it all or you were just chit-chatting with your sister the whole time? I only read 5 pages. And there were 5 pages of nothing. Like, I don't feel like anything happened in those 5 pages that advanced the story. But Tina, I learned the Portuguese word for knit. See if I can remember it now. Tricotar. Tricotar. Hang on. Yeah, that's it. Hang on. Is that right? Yeah, tricotar. Tricotar. Yeah, I was just chit-chatting. All right, so now we're in this weird, like, in-between place. We should have read for an hour. Because we either can now, like, chit-chat for a while, or we do a super short sprint. What do you guys want to do? And by super short, I mean like, I don't know, what, like 20 minutes or something. No, we could do, yeah, like 20 minutes. So we have time to come back and say goodbye. Oi, oi, oi. I did not plan very good. Well, yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't expect that we would do so much talking at the beginning, I guess. I'm going to have to hop off soon anyway, probably because I have a dentist appointment soon. Oh my gosh. I feel like you haven't been to the dentist in a while. Yeah, 20 minutes isn't a lot. 20 minutes isn't going to get me like even another page of my book, probably. 20 minutes is too short. But even if we had read for an hour, then we probably could not have done another sprint anyway. So, yeah, well, this sucks. I saw there were messages on the Discord, but I didn't really get a chance to read them yet. Have we decided about Nora Roberts in July? Maybe we could talk about that. And do we want to start in July? Because July is next month. Hang on, like July is next month. Well, that's the wrong thing. Hang on. Yeah, like when do we want to start this? Yeah, Monday is July 1st. Do we want to start the treehouse thing on July 1st? I haven't even we don't even have, did we officially pick that Nora? I feel like we maybe officially picked that Nora Roberts book. Misery, is that what it was? Legacy, misery, legacy. We'll probably have to do a ton of homework. Homework doesn't bother me. Yeah, legacy. Sorry, I don't know why I was calling it misery. Is that like some kind of weird Freudian slip on my part? I'm sure it's not going to be a misery. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Legacy, it sounds good. I'm fine with homework too. Yeah. Like, do you think we'll have homework after every single time, after Monday and after Wednesday, or we'll just have homework after Wednesdays? I mean, I suppose we could do a little bit of homework after Mondays too, like before we meet again on Wednesday. But yeah, I'm fine with homework. So do you want to start on Monday? Do you want to start on Wednesday? Are you guys still recovering from the Amazing Readathon on Monday and you want to start on Wednesday? What do you want to do? By the way, I didn't message you, Vivian, about the Discord. Oh, did you send me a message? Did not. Oh, you did. You did. Okay. Did message me about the Discord. Okay. You messaged me on Discord about the Discord. The audiobook's probably like 14 hours long. And we typically just do homework on Wednesdays, right? Because then we have more time to do the homework, like over the weekend and stuff, instead of having to try to pack in like some chapters in one day, right? I'd say homework once a week. I agree. Okay, so is there a whole message on this on Discord about like when we're starting and stuff, and I just haven't read it yet? That you're like, Vivian, just go and read it and you'll know what's going on. Agreed. All right, so I feel like this is going to be good. I've maybe read, I don't know, 1 or 2 Nora Roberts books, and I would have read them when I was like, I'm sure they were books that my grandmother had that I like squirreled away and read in secret. So this is going to be kind of fun. I'm not afraid of 14 hours. I'm not afraid of homework. This will be a good book to read. I'm so excited for y'all to read Nora. Mika, have you ever read any Nora Roberts? I think this will be fun. I don't know who else is going to join us on this journey, but I think it will be hilarious. Well, actually, I don't think Nora Roberts is very hilarious. But I think it will be like really good conversations. No? I think it'll be fun. I'm so surprised that Mika is down for this. Why? Nora Roberts, like when I read the blurb about it, it didn't sound like it was a romantic book. Oh, good. Ro was joining us, I think, and maybe Kenny. Okay, good. Good, good, good. This will be fun. This will be fun. Ooh, that freaked me out. Somebody's walking right there. And it looked like their shadow came like right by my window and it freaked me out. I was like, what's going on? There's shadow. Yeah, I think I read some I nicked off my mother. Yeah, in the 80s or the 90s. Can that be right? That's what I remember too. Like back in the I mean, it had to be the 80s because in the 70s I would have been too young to be reading these kinds of grown-up books. Probably, I mean, I would have been too young in the 80s, early 80s to read these kind of books, but that was my memory. Like in the 80s or the 90s, I would have like my grandmother would have had them. I feel like a lot of Nora Roberts books, especially the longer ones, tend to talk about emotions. Yeah, there, I mean, I do think that's right. But emotions, Mika likes emotions. She just doesn't like silly, fluffy romance. She started publishing in 81, and those would have been her shorter category romances. Yes. So that is what I remember are like, not like Harlequin romances. My grandmother had a ton of those, but like a higher quality Harlequin romance. Does that make any sense? I don't know what that, I don't know. But that's what I remember. Would have been reading like a shorter romance novel. But it seems like, I don't know, Legacy doesn't seem like a romance novel to me. The blurb about it didn't seem romantic, romancy. Is it? Am I missing something? I remember a kind of dynasty vibe with some of them. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Like, yes. So maybe this one, I don't know, this Legacy kind of has like a dynasty vibe to the blurb, maybe. I don't know. Maybe this is, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Mika, did you like them when you read them in the 80s or 90s, or did those books like turn you off of it forever? Typically, her newer books are suspense and family life with romance thrown in. Yeah, that's sort of what Legacy sounds like. It's like I don't know so much about suspense. I don't remember that, but it sounds like it's about like a family, and then maybe there's like a little bit of romance in it, but it's not like it's not the story of how Harry met Sally or whatever, you know, like suspenseful women's fiction. Well, I like suspense. Maybe I read Legacy. I wonder if you would even remember it 30 years later. Like if you're reading the book and you're like, this sounds super familiar. I wonder. If Legacy was one of the books that I read back in the 80s, I certainly would not remember it. Back then I read everything and anything. I'm sure I liked them. I don't remember liking them too much, but I don't remember disliking them, right? I sort of was the same way. I kind of read whatever I could read. Except my mom loved science fiction, and I was like, wah, wah. I didn't not like science fiction, so I wouldn't read science fiction, but pretty much everything else I would read. Ouch. Do you remember any details? Because if you do, I might be able to pinpoint it. Yeah, Tina, you've read like how many? 50 Nora Roberts books. Mika, do you remember anything? I remember nothing about the books I read as a kid. Because I literally, well, I like Mika, I was reading everything. I read like Tina reads now. I would read like 10 books a week. 13 books a week, right? We'd go to the library every Saturday and I would just load up on books and I would read them all so that we could go back to the library and get more books. I don't remember anything. 64. I almost feel like Nora Roberts writes books for Tina because she's writing them. I mean, she's older, but she's churning out these books as quickly as Tina is reading them. She has to stay on top of it so that she can stay ahead of Tina. Now, Tina, after 64 books, do you feel like there's enough variety that you're not just reading the same book over and over again? That it really is a different book? It's not just different characters doing the same thing over and over again? I still have I know, she has so many books. Like so many books. And she does them really fast. And they're not tiny little books. They're books, right? I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she has that many stories in her brain that she can then put out on paper so quickly. It's a marvel. It's a marvel. No, I don't. In the 80s, I was in elementary school and read books I was far too young for. Yeah, that's why we were stealing them. You were stealing them from your mom and I was stealing them from my grandmother. Oh, kind of, but they're different enough. And she writes a lot of different things that I can jump between them to separate them. Okay. I love the similarity because it's the vibe of her writing. I truly love. Wow, I can't wait to read. Are we starting on Monday? Did we decide this? I need to get the book then. I haven't even looked for it. We're gonna start on Monday or Wednesday? I can do either one. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me see. What am I doing next Wednesday? Oh yeah, I can start next Wednesday or Monday. I'm good both Monday and Wednesday. I need to get rid of that right now though. That is done. The first book that really stuck in my mind was a Stephen King book I stole from my brother when I was 10 or 11. Do you remember what that was? Starting on Monday. All right, very cool. I will get the book this weekend. Yay! But I will not read any of it. The first book that stuck in my mind, I think, and I don't remember it now, but I remember reading it and I remember it being like a big deal when I read it, was the Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. What's going on here? Still don't know what's going on here. Oh, I remember that one. I probably read it when I was too young to read it because I remember my grandmother had it and I took it off of her shelf to read it because it sounded like, I don't know, scandalous, right? God was in the title. And I remember it being a big deal that I was reading it because I must have been too young to read it, but I don't remember why it was such a big deal. I should pick that up again. Because Judy Blume, it was like a big deal. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. But I can't remember what it was even about. I need to look that up and reread it maybe. I wonder, I should reread it now as an adult. The Long Walk. It disgusted me and scared me, but I couldn't stop. How old were you when you read this disgusting, scary book? Oof. Stephen King. A scary Stephen King. Oof. Speaking of, Tina, are you going to go back to 11/22/63? When, can you even go back? Didn't you borrow it from Libby or something? I've reread it a couple times, so now I know that the social criticism went right over my head. That's the thing when you read things young. Then when you read them when you're supposed to read them, you're like, "Oh, yeah, I missed all of that." And it's maybe a good thing. Maybe this is why I was gonna say maybe this is why I missed all of the romance, but I didn't. I got all of the romance from the books I was stealing from my grandmother. I completely understood the Harlequin romance, although I wonder if I read them now, if there's more to them than just, like, hot and steamy. I think I'm gonna wait until July. Okay, good. Yeah. I, I feel like that's a book I've said this before to you, that I should reread again. Um, but something about it being so long, I don't know that I wanna get into another big, long book, even though it was really, really, really good, so maybe I do. We'll see, we'll see. I feel like now we've got a lot going on in July. If I'm gonna read everything by Frida McFadden, and I'm gonna read my book club book, which I don't know that I'm gonna like very much, blah, blah, and we're gonna read the Treehouse Book Club book. I got a lot going on. I'm so excited. I'm getting excited about July, which is a good thing since it starts on Monday. Hmm. I think I'm gonna head off. I need to go get ready. All right, Tina, I'll see you on Monday if I don't see you before. Thanks for coming. I think I might head off too, because that'll give me a couple of minutes to get ready for my meeting at 7. Um, I think there's other people sprinting. Thanks for sprints. Have a nice night. I'll see you on Monday. You're welcome. Thanks for coming. I think there's other people sprinting right now. I think Coda is sprinting. And maybe Stacy and Steph. Did I see that they were sprinting too? Ooh, I have several diamond painting events in July, so I'll have a lot of time for audiobooks. Awesome. Do you have, yeah, awesome. Do you have a plan for your audiobooks? Or are you're just winging it? You're mood reading, maybe. I'm semi-mood reading. And right now I am in the mood for everything Frida McFadden. So that's what my plan is for July. We'll see. We'll see. All right. I'm gonna jump off, but I may jump over to Coda sprints and Stacy and Steph's sprints just to say hi and like show some love before I have to go to my meeting. So I am going to sign off. Mika, it's fun to see you, fun to hang out with you. Lily, I don't know if you're still here lurking in the background. It was fun hanging out with you. And I will see you guys on Monday. And then I'm back here on Wednesday and we'll just keep going. Nora Roberts. Very cool. All right. Have a good evening or a good afternoon wherever you are in the world. I will see you later. Bye.